Well, I am super excited. I've made my decision. It's definitely out there. The Real Deal's got the name, and this is going to stick with it. I can't wait to open this up and show you guys what the next adventure for Real Deal is. Okay, so we've got the new Ferrari engine unboxed. I've calmed down, I was very excited, that's for sure. So, a bit of background on this engine. It's a 2006 Ferrari Scaglietti engine. It's a 5.7 litre engine. We actually source this engine locally in Australia, in South Australia, from a wrecking yard who does Lamborghinis and Ferrari stuff. So, they help us out and we've got the power plant here. It is a front-mounted engine, which is pretty rare for Ferrari. It's only a rear-mounted engine, but it's a rear-wheel drive. So, come around here, this has normally got a big torque tube that comes back, but we're going to go for something basic. So we're going to go a GM power glide, so we're going to have to make an adapter plate that comes on here and picks up this bolt pattern, but then also has the turbo pattern, power glide pattern around the outside. So we'll probably have to get this engine over to the machine shop. They'll have to draw this pattern here off the crank center line, and then we'll make an adapter plate. We'll probably go aluminium. Being aluminium, will have to be nice and thick, obviously with thread holes, or we might put inserts. So I'll probably leave that up to the machine shop. The boys know what they're doing. They draw it in CAD. We'll do a few prototypes and be pretty cool. So after we get that done, we'll probably get a dry plate done because these engines were only manuals. So we're going to have to make a custom flex plate. We've been on the phone with Paul Rogers and he's going to make a custom converter. So after we get the two mated together, he'll work out the spacing and then we'll get that together and obviously slip it in the hole. So that's probably our first thing, is get the gearbox and engine together and get it in there. So the reason I've chose the power glide is this car had the power glide last time with the big block, so we know that the tunnel is going to work. We know that tail shaft hopefully will work and the cross member. So it will slide in there. The good thing about this engine is the crank right's very low, so I don't think we're going to have any tunnel clearance issues. So if you have a look through here to here, that's very small. I think with the big block we'll be up here somewhere, so tunnel definitely won't be a drama. The reason it's so low is it's actually factory dry sump, which is pretty cool. So it's all internally driven, so we don't need any dry sump pumps or any of that kind of stuff off the front of it, oil pumps going on. One advantage of that is we've still got the dry, so come over here and have a look. We've still got some lines coming up here, which is from our, keep coming around, from our Peterson dry sump tank here. So we're going to leave that in the car, and hopefully it's pretty straightforward. We just run a feed and a return in, so we can leave that stuff there. We have been doing some measuring up. We believe the width and the length should be pretty good. Height is going to be a drama, so we may have to modify the cross member sitting there, or we might have to do a bulge, or we might even just have that little red Ferrari cover hanging out. So like I said, I'm pretty excited to get it sitting in there and see what we can come up with. Okay, I can sit here measuring all day long, but until I physically get this sitting in the hole and get a bit of a gist of what's going to hit and what we might need to modify. So I think I better go get my brother. We'll get the slings under it, we'll get it up, we'll gently just lower it in. We're obviously not going to put it in there for the final time, but we're just going to get a bit of a gauge of what's working around it, what needs to be removed, because we're not going to run the AC pump, the power steering pump, we're just having an alternator. But I can't wait. I think I've just got to get it sitting in there, stand back, see that Ferrari logo and get excited. Okay, so Mark and myself have got the engine sort of half in. As we spoke about, we could measure all day, but until you get it sitting here and see what's going to hit, what's not going to hit. So obviously the factory manifolds are zero chance. The accessories are a bit touch and go. I think we might get it in there with that alternator, but like I said, we're not going to run the two pumps. It's just going to be an alternator, so I think that'll drop down. Down in here we've got our trans cooler. Still don't know until we sort of drop it down. The two filters might touch that. We might just drop that out of the way and allow it to get down there. So come back around this side, we'll have a quick look as well. As we spoke about, manifolds, they're no chance, so they can go. Our dry sump, it's going to be touch and go at the offset of the engine. So we've got this massive fitting here. Looks like it might clip the chassis rail. Engine mounts, they've got to go. We'll set up our HP mounts there. So let's rip that off and then we'll have another crack at it. We've got the engine in place. I am pretty happy. It is sitting a little bit high, so we're going through some crossmove modifications to clear the dry sump and some accessories, but overall, I'm pretty stoked. It's going to come down a couple inches, but you've got to keep in mind, we are putting a Ferrari V12 into a 1970 Holden Torana. So tune in next episode, we'll get the power glide mated to it, we'll get some crossmove modifications, so make sure you like, subscribe, and tune in.